After testing and trying thousands and thousands of fragrances over the years, I've found some of the ones that seem to perform the very best, both in terms of projection and longevity. I know that's an important thing for a lot of you, is for me as well. If you're spending your money on something, you want to be able to get a day's wearing out of it without it disappearing after 4 hours. And so these definitely make it well above that. And an average across the board with this selection, you can expect to see 9-10 hours at the minimum. Most of these are expected to go well over that, to the point where you just kind of stop counting, because it gets to the point where you're either taking a shower, you know, and kind of ending it there, or maybe going to bed or something, and then, you know, game over on that point. Sometimes you might even smell them when you wake up, but point is, they're long lasting, they're good performing, and as always, we just have a random variety: fresh, sweet, summer, you know, winter, formal, casual, and everything in between. Links to each of these will be down below to discounters. Always shop at discounters and save some money. This first one is YSL Eau de Parfum. Getting it kicked off right here with more spring and summer. Can be a little bit sweet for summer, but just in that kind of category. Could be worn in fall and winter as well, given the performance here. It is well strong enough to where it will work and hold up to, you know, the really frigid temperatures that you might encounter if you live somewhere where it gets cold. Has apple, sage, lavender, and basically a ton of amber wood, kind of looping this into that blue fragrance category here. And this is kind of YSL's answer to a blue fragrance with a sweet, fruity twist coming from the apple primarily. But the sage and the lavender, geranium, kind of gives it an aromatic base, which freshens it up a little bit, but it is still pretty sweet as well. And that sweetness combined with all of that amber wood makes this one remarkably strong, both in terms of projection. A couple sprays get you some really good distance and a nice scent trail, but also longevity is exceptional as well. I don't think that you will ever have a performance issue with YSL Eau de Parfum. And you guys know I love the Eau de Parfum Intense. In terms of smell, it's probably my favorite. That one, I like the new Le Parfum 2025 as well. The Eau de Parfum Intense performs really good. Close to this one, but not quite. The Le Parfum falls behind both of them a little bit more. But still, at the end of the day, this regular Eau de Parfum is going to be about the strongest one that you can get from the lineup. It is really, really impressive, and about $100 on discounters. We're going to go up in price a little bit with this next one, and availability can sometimes be an issue. It's not discontinued or anything, at least as far as I know. It's just not as commonly found in the supply chain, I guess, and so it kind of pops in and out of stock. If you happen to catch a bottle, pick it up if you're interested, because it'll probably just go out of stock again. It's Mystery Tobacco by Herrera. This, no surprise, has a bunch of tobacco, but also quite a bit of patchouli as well. And the way I've described this is it kind of is, at least to me, a bit of a hybrid between Mancera Red Tobacco and PDM Carlisle. So Carlisle has not really tobacco, at least they don't list it, you kind of get it, but more so this patchouli, vanilla, kind of balsam type of smell, a bit of a sweetness. And then Red Tobacco obviously has the tobacco, this strong red pipe tobacco, and a little bit of oud. This one you don't really get much of that oud smell, but you do get more of that type of red tobacco smell, that type of tobacco in particular. And then some of the sweeter, smoother aspects of PDM Carlisle. That's kind of how I view this one. It smells delicious, surprisingly enough, a little tiny bit gourmand, ultimately just very addicting. And I love PDM Carlisle. I love Red Tobacco too, prefer Carlisle, and I think that's why I like this one so much, because they are similar. In terms of price point, gosh, I mean, they're probably pretty close. It depends on if the PDMs are on sale or not, and it also depends on if this is in stock. So, you know, no matter what way you go there, yeah, you know, it's just going to depend. There's no definitive answer. There's a little bit of a bottle size difference as well. The PDM is a 125. Neither of them are affordable in the traditional sense, but man, I'll tell you, if you have some deeper pockets and you want to get a real nice, super high quality, premium, and very strong, long-lasting tobacco scent, I would definitely do some digging for mysterious tobacco, or mystery tobacco, sorry. Won't let you down. I love this stuff, and the bottles are really cool too. This next one is Eros Najim by Versace. The what was supposed to be incredibly exclusive, you know, travel exclusive or Middle Eastern exclusive is what it was marketed as, and I think it is. It's just been in stock on Joma Shop consistently for like half a year now, and so these are super easy to get right now. This one has caramel, oud, incense. It smells absolutely amazing. It's not at all what you would expect out of an Eros flanker, meaning it's just so much more in depth. There's so much more going on, and it strays away from that original Eros smell quite a bit, but I think that's what so many people like about it. And it makes sense why this isn't like a scent that they release to all of the major retailers and stuff for everybody to buy easily, because this isn't something that's going to sell nearly as well as the normal Eros fragrances do. Like Eros Energy is going to sell laps around something like this. That's just kind of how it works, because that's the type of fragrances we're used to over here in the US anyway. But I'll tell you, if you want something different, this stuff is super exciting and really good smelling. And it might sound like it's gonna be 140 bucks or something. It's not, it's under 100 right now. Usually full presentation around 85 to 90, 95, something like that. Testers will be a bit less, usually $5 or $10 less. Really good scent, great performance as well, which is kind of the main reason it's in this video. Super strong, just like most Eros fragrances are. This next one is Gucci Intense Oud. Really cool bottle on this one. You've got that guy there, and then the cap just clicks into place. It's pretty simple, really, but sometimes just the simplicity of the bottle makes it kind of beautiful. It's elegant, it's classy. It's really cool looking sitting on your shelf. This one has oud, incense, and leather, and you know what it reminds me of a little bit, and not just me, a lot of people, a little bit of Nascimento Black Afgano action, although way, way more designer level, because Black Afgano is pretty intense. It's pretty extreme, strong on the oud, and a very niche level oud in comparison to this. This one is, again, a lot more approachable for most people. Still not like it's comparable to like a Gucci Guilty Black or something in terms of difficulty level. You know, it's not like that, but also, it's not crazy either, and it's a nice one that you can jump into if you do want to stand out a little bit without pushing the boundaries too much. After all, it is still a Gucci fragrance, and I don't think they're going to release anything, at least on their normal line of fragrances, that's going to be too out there, because this one is, you know, not crazily priced to deter people like some brands do with some of their more interesting stuff, I would say, designer brands anyway. And so, yeah, this one's still easy to pull off. It's, you know, probably about the same difficulty level as Versace Oud Noir or something. I really don't view this to be like a strong off-putting oud scent in the slightest. Has a nice sweet smokiness to it, which I love. No surprise here, it is a great performer as well, lasts a long time, and also has really good projection too. Let's move on to Invictus Victory Elixir. What a great scent. I really like this stuff, and I think in terms of, you know, a lot of their modern Invictus flankers, this is one of the better ones, I would say. This one has olibanum, vanilla, amber, sweet, kind of smoky with a bit of a brightness as well off the very opening from, to me, that olibanum. But then as it dries down, it does get into more of a woody dry down with an amber base and a little bit more of a smokiness, as I mentioned. The good thing about it is it doesn't smell like Invictus, and so they could have easily basically taken Invictus Victory, just the regular one, and created an entire new fragrance line completely separate from Invictus. You know, get away from the trophy bottles and into something new. We all know they're not going to do that, because it's so much easier to just continue the Invictus name and get that instant popularity boost, because it has Invictus tied to it, of course, and that's fine. That is what it is. But just to alleviate any questions, this smells nothing like Invictus. And same thing with the original Victory as well, tonka bean based, powdery, dusty, and this basically is drawing from that and just amping it up even more, giving it even better performance, more depth, more of a richness. I really like this stuff. As I said, it's one of their better ones. This next one is Dior Sauvage Elixir. I love how this one turned out. It smells great, and not at all what I think anybody was expecting, to be fair, because similar to Invictus Victory Elixir that we were just talking about, this smells nothing like Sauvage. Really, I mean, same thing. They could have taken this exact smell, put it into a new bottle, and now you've got a brand new fragrance line that you can branch out with and, you know, create a bunch of new flankers. Not going to happen, of course. And same thing with the Dior Homme line, how much it has changed over the years. Dior Homme to Dior 2020, entirely different scents. That could have been a new line. The list goes on, but that's just not how they do it. But Sauvage Elixir, it's all about the warm spices and the sandalwood. So a bunch of licorice and cardamom and all of that good stuff. Peppers, pink pepper type of deal. And then a nice, smooth, soft, sweet, and creamy sandalwood that all of those spices kind of fall onto. So that's kind of the base, the backbone is that sandalwood accord. Not really much of a cedar wood either. So it's a nice, smooth, dry down, which is very much a contrast to all of the spices that you get, especially off the opening, that still do exist in the dry down, but they do kind of lighten up a little bit. This is known for performance. This is one of the strongest designer fragrances that you can probably buy on the market right now. It comes with a price tag, obviously, that is up there for the price per milliliter. It's $140, which if it was 100 ml for that price, it wouldn't be outrageous for what you get. But that's 60 ml. That's this size bottle here, 140 or 150 bucks. I think your 100 mls go for like 220 or 200 or something on discounters. So niche price, basically. Let's go from one elixir to another with Rabanne 1 million elixir. This one has vanilla, tonka bean, and apple. I mean, Rabanne can easily dominate a list like this because they have so many fragrances in the form of flankers, both between the Invictus line and the 1 million line. It's kind of sickening. And then also they're all beast mode as well. So you can really just kind of put a bunch of them on a board and then, blindfold yourself and throw a dart, and whichever one it lands on, it's going to be a beast mode scent, basically. That's how all of them are, which is a good thing. We want to see that, especially for, the fact that most of these are hovering around $100 on average. But again, there's so many, it's kind of crazy. This is a brand where I'm kind of cool with discontinuing some older stuff, kind of thinning the herd, because it is a little bit much to dive into. And I don't say that often. I don't like when things get discontinued, but they could do with lightening up some of these lines here. Rabanne, they're hoarding a lot of stuff in these fragrance lines that we probably don't need. We probably don't need 1 million elixir, to be fair, because they have had so many good ones, but this is, in fact, a really, really strong fragrance, as are most of them. So you could go for your favorite 1 million and it could fit in this video. This is just one I happen to choose. My favorites are discontinued, really, mostly 1 million Privé. This next one is Kilian Sacred Wood. Had to slip this one in here, or at least something from the brand. I was looking at single malt, discontinued, but did they bring it back? I can't remember, because I know that they brought Sacred Wood back. And then I was thinking, did they bring back single malt, or did I just hunt that one down on eBay? I can't remember, but yeah, that could be another one. Apple brandy is not the strongest, which is a bummer because I wish it would be. Straight to Heaven, yes. Intoxicated, yes. Black Phantom, yeah. Back to Black, definitely. That stuff is really, really strong too. But Sacred Wood's a little bit more, approachable, I would say. Some of those are kind of on the extreme end, especially Back to Black. I think that's that really sweet cherry one. That stuff is pretty intense. But this is all about the sandalwood. Sandalwood and milk, I believe. At least they listed that off in the original Sacred Wood note breakdown. Don't know if that transferred over to the re-release, but in fact, it does have a creaminess that you would equate to a milk note, I suppose, but mostly that's just coming from the strong focus on a beautiful, soft sandalwood accord. You've got to like sandalwood. It's as simple as that. If you don't like it, you're not going to like this. Stay far away from it. A great performer, which you almost wouldn't expect given just how soft and kind of supple this one comes across. But man, I'll tell you, this stuff is really, really good performing. It'll last all day and to the point where you don't expect it to, and it's still going, which is something. This next one is a character, truly is. It's Ford Tobacco Oud. Still pops up on discounters at complete random. 50 ml bottles usually. Don't know what they go for. Never cheap, of course. It's a private blend, but still pops up nonetheless. As tobacco, oud, and whiskey. That's it, basically. They list off more, I think, but that's all you need to know. Animalic, okay? Animalic oud. The tobacco is strong, this kind of red pipe tobacco, just powerful smokiness, and then a bright, real bright pop of whiskey off the opening that you get hit with. And you could smell it in the dry down. It just doesn't have the same type of brightness, but still a booziness. It's basically, it's animalic and syrupy sweet, and then just with a splash of whiskey on top. It truly is something interesting. This one's very daring, not blind buy safe. Now, you're probably going to be paying a lot even for a small sample, so that part kind of sucks too. Use your best discretion. If you like extreme boozy fragrances with oud, then you would like something like this, but that's the thing. You have to know that you like this sort of thing in order to come to that conclusion, and not everybody does until you smell something in this category, so kind of a catch-22. Either way, you know, it is a cool one to have in your collection for sure, and a 50 ml bottle will last you a lifetime. Terre de Hermes Parfum is super strong. The original's pretty good performing. Eau Givre, the fresher one, is a good performer. Eau Intense Oud is, but this Parfum is kind of next level. Dry, woody, earthy with some orange. It's basically what this is. And true Parfum, so it's a great performer as well. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. Parfums de Marly Altair. It's all about that vanilla, basically. The vanilla and some sweet notes. It's gourmand leaning with tonka and stuff as well. Holy crap, it's good. It is, wow, it is so good. It smells like a dessert, really. You could almost take a bite out of this stuff. It's just so gourmand, so edible, so realistic smelling. It is absolutely delicious. I see why people eat this stuff up. I do. And, you know, it's easy to kind of pass judgment on it without smelling it. But when you do actually try this stuff, man, I'm telling you, you realize what the hype is about. And if you don't want to spend the money on this, get Liquid Brun by French Avenue / Fragrance World. Usually about 40 bucks, pretty much spot on, and saves you a lot of money. Saves you, you know, 200 bucks almost. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some of the strongest performing fragrances that I've found over the course of smelling thousands of them. Links to each and every one of these will be down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.